Hey, it's Ted McGrath, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to make a call to action from the stage so you can enroll more clients from the stage. And many times people are afraid to sell from the stage. They're afraid to make an offer, or they just don't have the skill set because they haven't done it before. So one of the most important parts of getting high percentages where people say yes to your offer from the stage is these 3 call to actions that I'm going to teach you. And if you're like me and you've learned the hard way before, I've been on stage where I've had 50 people in the room and made an offer and 0 people said yes. And it literally felt like I was, being shot by a machine gun 47 times, and that's how much the rejection felt. It was awful, right? So in making a call to action from the stage, the first thing that you need to do is you just need to make the call to action. So there's no real secret to the first call to action, except before you make it, you have to talk about the 5 steps or the 7 steps in your program. So for example, when I'm making an offer from the stage and I sell my Superstar Speaker training, I tell people about the 7 steps they're going to learn in the program. So I'll talk to them about how to run profitable live events. I'll talk to them about how to make offers from the stage. I'll talk to them about how to book stages. And I'll elaborate on each of these 7 points, and I'll have 3 sub-bullet points for each of the 7 points. So essentially, I'm going over about 21 items through my offer, and by the time I share with them these 7 steps, they have a really good handle of what the program's about. And so there's a strategic way that I go through the 7 that I'm not going to talk about in this video. However, when you go through those 7 points, and you've already shared the content of your presentation, you've pretty much earned the right to make an offer. And you've done a lot of work up until this point. So your client has a lot of information, they know what the offer is, and then you just need to make the call to action. So before you make the first call to action, there's a little strategy here that starts with price contrast, and then actual retail pricing of the program, and then actual pricing of the program. So price contrast is used in this fashion, where before I make an offer, say for a $2,000 program, I'll say something like this: hey, these 7 steps that I just shared with you in Superstar Speaker Training are phenomenal. Just one of them could help you improve your speaking ability and get more clients to say yes to your offers. However, if you really want to lead seminars and you want to run live events and be profitable and transform people's lives, then you're going to want this entire 7-step offer of my Superstar Speaker Training. And the truth is, if somebody were to work with me one-on-one and I were to coach them, it's $200,000 to work with me one-on-one. Now, I'm not making a formal offer to work with me one-on-one today because I'm talking about the Superstar Speaker online training in a live event that I want you to come to that you're going to get for a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the investment. Now, notice what I just did there. It's called price contrast. When somebody sees the value of you and your coaching, like mine's at the $200,000 level, when I used to do private coaching, I don't do it anymore. However, for you, if you're doing private coaching and you charge $10,000, if you talk about your private coaching being $10,000 and then you make an offer for $1,000 or $2,000, there's a price contrast there that shows your real value, shows the value of the information in comparison to what the real offer is. So I always lead with price contrast before I tell them the real price. Then the second thing that I'll do is once I tell them it's $200,000 to work with me one-on-one, then I say to them, you're going to get these 7 modules and the live event of Superstar Speaker Training for a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of investment of that. It's going to be way less. And the reason is because I'm on a mission to really spread this message out and help as many speakers share their voice as possible. And so you're not going to invest $200,000 today. The value of this program is $4,997. Now notice what I'm doing there. I'm giving them a retail value. Now the investment is not going to be $4,997. Let's say the investment's $2,000 or $1,000, right? The retail investment today value is $4,997. And so now I share with them why it's really worth $4,997. I say, if you just got the first, one of the modules where I taught you how to create your presentation and make an offer, for most of you, at least in the first year, you'll make your $5,000 back. Some of you, right away, you'll make your $5,000 back. So easily, the value for a speaker who follows my presentation formula, it's easily worth, at a bare minimum, even to a brand new person, $5,000. Now notice what I've done there. I've gone to $200,000, then I went to $5,000 of what the value of the program is. So now I've actually set it up in a way to the client really sees the value, because they don't know unless you tell them. So this isn't some like psychological factor to like dupe people and go from here to here to here. It's just communicating what value is. And then when you communicate value and they see what the real value is, and then I say, but what I'm gonna ask you to invest today is not $4,997, I'm gonna ask you to invest $2,000 a day, or $1,000 a day, or $500 a day. You see how I go from price contrast to retail value of the program to actual investment. So there's a drop from 200 to 4,997, a drop from 4,997 to 2,000 or 1,000 or whatever the actual investment is. So when you take a look at this, that's the first offer that's made in a powerful, strategic way that gets somebody to see the value. The second call to action that I make with a client when I'm from the stage is, after I make the first one, your early adopters, they'll get up and I'll say, at this point, go to the back of the room. But the most of the people in the room, when you made an offer, they literally turn around as if you're talking to the person behind them. They don't really even know that you're talking to them, because they're like, me? Am I a fit for this? My voice is talking to me in my head right now, and I'm kind of doubting whether this is a fit for me, so he can't be talking to me. So that's the time in the second call to action where you go, hey, so for those of you who are sitting there right now and thinking, should I do this? Should I not do this? Is this for me? Is this not for me? I don't know if I can pull this off. I don't know if I can speak from the stage. I want to talk to that voice in your head for a moment, and let me be the bigger voice. You're here right now because you want to speak. You're here right now because you have a message to share with the world, and it's time that you step up and you own it. So if you have any doubt, it means you're considering right now. And just the fact that you're considering probably means that this is for you. So I want you, those of you who have doubt right now, to silence that little voice, and in your bigger place, in your space of who you really are, if it's a yes, I want you to get up right now, and I want you to go to the back, and I want you to sign up. So that's the second call to action. And then there may be a third call to action that I do where I'll tell a story. And by the second call to action, I've got a big majority of the room to move. A lot of times I'll throw in a bonus that's a limiter. So it limits to like 17 people in the room. So let's say I have 100 people in the room, and I'm gonna get about a 20% inspire ratio. I don't call it closing, I call it inspire, inspiring people to take action. So if I have 100 people in the room and 20% I feel are gonna say yes, I might do a limiter to where the first 19 people out of 100 will get this bonus if they take action. And that creates a table rush for me, for people to run to the back of the room. I just did this at an event in Las Vegas, and I put the limiter around 16 people, and we literally had like 17 or 18 people sign up, and it was over 20%. So, these are powerful things you can do, add bonuses in, and the third call to action should be some type of story. So, when you're doing calls to action, you've taught people for a while. The first call to action, you tell them the price, you drop the price, you say go. The second call to action, you talk to the voice in the head, you say go. Third call to action is more emotional, and sometimes I'll tell a story of regret. I have this story I tell about my grandparents, and it's this great story about how they got to the end of their life and they lived this full life. And I tell people, if the direction that you're going in your life, if you look 30, 40, 50, 60 years into the future, and you're not on target to living this extraordinary life, it's time to get up right now and make this decision and not have regrets. And I tell a whole story around it. And the story drops people more into an emotional heart space place, and then the emotion fuels them to take action. So those are my 3 strategies for calls to action. I actually do the same thing when I make a $200,000 offer from the stage. So I hope this serves you, and I want you to get into action right now. And one, if you enjoyed this, go share this with somebody, like the video, because I want to spread this message out to the world, because I know there's a lot of speakers in the world. And I hope you get to see some of my upcoming training that you might want access to if you enjoyed this. So I'll see you in the next video.